As you guys know, our favorite anime, of course, is One Piece. That was our number one of both our lists. So, what do you guys think is up next? It's going to be our top five. What? Straw Hats, of course. So, getting into the top five Straw Hats list. Uh, I think I'll start off this one at the number five, and then
For
we can
sure.
end off at your one then with it.
For sure.
So, my number five is Frankie. Frankie is my top, and so my top five is at that number five spot among Straw Hats because of just how first off, he made the Thousand Sunny. If you're going to make the ship that's going to carry the king of the pirates on there, you have to be a badass.
Man.
Secondly, his backstory, like
Oh
him
man.
being
Man,
an
man.
outcast, somebody who just wants to do right. He thinks that he got his owner Tom, his not owner, but his master Tom killed, and he wants to appraise him and do more inside the future with it. He knows everything that's going on throughout the world and what's about to happen to it. He has the weapon knowledge to create Pluton. So just going through with it is Frankie has to come in number five because of just the sheer ability of who he is. Plus, he's a cyborg. Who doesn't like cyborg? Just a man who did everything he can to modify his entire body to just be a robotic um, shell of what it used to be with skin over the top of it. He's a cyborg for real, and having the Frankie ability with it, the One Piece the Straw Hats would never have got through the to the new world. I think like as far as they are right now, without the Thousand Sunny and just the Battle Frankies, all of those one was it 0 through 6 or 0 through 5, something like that. And we still have some that we haven't seen yet. So
Man.
plus his power, bro. That's a powerhouse, baby. Look at his forearms. The man's beat his meat all day long.
Funny as hell.
Goes to town on this shit. But Law, we're gonna go over transfer to you, man. I love Frankie.
So, with my number five, we don't have to go anywhere. We're gonna keep it here. Super! At number five, I have Frankie as
So yeah,
well.
we don't discuss.
That we don't. It's crazy. We definitely do not discuss this. Discuss our stuff beforehand. We promise. I swear. We definitely don't. Yeah, but basically for everything you said, Blake said, right before. For me, the energy he brings, like no matter what situation that they're in, he always had, uh, always looking, not, I wouldn't say necessarily like the bright side of things, but in trying to keep everybody positive about what's going on and whatnot. He's especially because he's older basically than basically everybody. Him and Robin would be the
Him and
oldest.
Robin, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brooke, I was
and
gonna
Brooke.
say Brooke doesn't count, skeleton, so I wasn't counting
Right.
him. So
Makes sense.
him having maturity and stuff, even though he is silly and goose around with the guys and whatnot. Built the Sunny, builds all these crazy gadgets and whatnot. The what is it, the cyborg? Not cyborg. It's the General
The Battle
Frankie.
Frankie,
The
General
General
Frankie.
Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, General Frankie. Just man, getting them to the new world with the bubble coating to get them down to Fishman Island. Like without him, they wouldn't be able to get to and do a lot of the stuff that they do. The Cuda burst, which gets them out of so many, situations
Man.
on the sea. Just Frankie is legit clutch. So that's my number five, Frankie.
My number four on my list comes in as also my waifu.
I am dead.
Y'all don't know, man. Where's the waifu? She's right there on the screen right now.
I am dead.
So Robin comes in at my number four list. I'm hoping that's not the same number four for my boy Law as well.
Don't gotta worry about
Cool.
that.
Fucked up. But with Robin being inside my number four list, it's because of the sheer knowledge that she has behind it. Somebody who comes aboard says, "Hey, I'm going to join your crew," without asking them. She just forces her way inside there. Um, First off, that's some savage shit. And
Hey
then for
man.
Luffy to just say, "Okay,
Okay.
yo,"
Man.
um, but from her just helping them out at the Alabasta arc, and actually pushing
Mm,
them into the right direction to see, all right, cool, what can I really get out of them?
mm.
Plus, I don't want it to be it's not really a spoiler alert because we all know it kind of a little bit. For her to have her ties with the Revolutionary Army,
Oh yeah.
um,
Mm,
my one of my favorite characters is definitely inside the series is Sabo because he took over the Middle Nomi, the Flare fruit, from Ace, and he kept that will alive. So just the connection she has with that, the connection she has with the knowledge she has from the poneglyphs, and how she's going to be like that end all be all knowledge of like how can I put all of the poneglyphs together to
so
just
we can get to
unlock a
Rafto.
void century.
And to
Yeah,
get the Rafto too, yeah.
and get the raft to laugh tail, raft tail. It's a whole lot of different things I want to
Uh,
call this shit
uh,
now. But Robin definitely mysterious. Kunoichi that does her thing. I love her to death. Plus, she can make her. I'm pretty sure if she wanted to, she can make a duplicate of herself, like a copy of herself, like a clone. But just knowing that she can get super big, and the fact that she is a loving person, she's much older, mature than everybody else up in there. She's definitely somebody to have around you as an archaeologist.
so like we said, we don't talk about it. My number four is completely different. My number four is Soul King. Brooke, Soul King. That's my guy. I mean, man. Now, when I talk about somebody who keeps everything in a fun, loving mood and just all jokes and silly and just I love him to death, and he can at
Yo,
there, and he can also, he's not just like a goofy person or skeleton, Sorry, Brooke, but he can get it done as far as like fighting and whatnot too. And then one of the moments that really stuck out to me was when Whole Cake Island when he went up against Big Mom, basically by himself to make sure he could get the like we were talking about with Robin, so he could make sure he could get the copy of the red poneglyph for the crew. So I really rock with him. Just keeps the vibe really great around the crew. The music. And I can't even forget about the huge connection with Laboon and all that. So whenever we'll see that pay off too. So I really fuck with Brooke. That's my guy.
my number three is the monster himself, who I think will become the strongest beast in existence one day, is Tony Chopper
Yeah.
at my number three spot. I love Chopper to death. Always has. He came inside the connection he has with Zoro as like that father son type connection. Um, One of my favorite things about him is just that he's always willing to help somebody out, somebody who wants to go the extra mile to never let somebody die, no matter if you're a villain or whether you're on their side, you're not on their side. No matter what, like when Usopp and Luffy had that big fight, Chopper went out there. He still stayed true to his captain, but to his medicine as well. He left the medicine there to bandage yourself up with. You're gonna heal yourself and go from there. But I think Chopper has probably the most potential out of all the crew. Um, not probably the most potential, but he has a growth that I want to see come real soon. I'm hoping inside like the Albath arc, if we ever get the Albath, because the fact he could turn into a giant monstrous beast, he could tame that. At first, he couldn't contain it. Now he can. He has kung fu point, hard point, jump point. All his different transformations is just what makes him an overall well-rounded fighter and character. Even though he seems like a scared little SOB at the time, uh, is he pays off at the end when it's time to get down to actually fight. He pays off with his fights, and then right now we're in the Wano arc, so you all know what happened. I won't spoil anything, but you all know what's going on right now in Wano and what Chopper's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's so to my boy, he's saving lives out here.
No facts.
coming in strong on the number 3 spot.
So for my number three, this is my big three. This has been my big three for a good minute. Even before this person officially joined the crew. So with saying that,
Ooh,
you could probably guess where I'm going. My guy, Gene Bay, first son of the sea. That is my dog, man. Like I can't. It's been a while since I've watched from the beginning, but I don't remember exactly the. I think the first time we saw him was in Impel Down, right? Which is
it fell
what's
down. Yep.
yeah,
When he
what's
was
what's
dropping
on the
shots in
screen
space.
right now. Yep.
Yep.
And it was like from that moment, I don't know. It was like something about his character, and I was like, okay, I can, let's see where this goes. But when he stood up for him on, during the war and whatnot, and then even took him back to Amazon Lily, made doing all that to make sure he stayed alive because of what he meant to Ace and carrying on Ace's will for the future and all that. Like I rock with this guy. I need this guy to join the crew. From that moment on, I want this man on the crew. And when he finally asked him, when what was it at the end of the Fishman Island arc, I believe that's when he asked him, and I was geeked, so I couldn't wait for him to join after he got through doing whatever it was that he said that he had to do, and then when we finally see that later on paid off, and
This part right here.
it what's on the screen right now, it's
Yeah.
like it's timed up perfectly with what I'm saying. It's when he basically told Big Mom like when she asked him life or what was it, life or leave,
I forget
life or
leave.
death, yeah, life or leave, and he basically like life, cause I'm out this joint,
Not scared of
cause
you.
I'm not, yeah, just like, and then she couldn't take his power and whatnot, take his light, his soul and whatnot, and he's like she tried to do it again, and he said the same thing again, and he was like, "What's going?" Everybody was shocked. I'm shocked. What's going on? And then he hit it with the line, "Why? I'm a man who's gonna sail on the future pirate of the future pirate king ship. Why would I be afraid of a mere emperor? Yo, he realized, said that in her face. I'm dog. Gene Bay, hands down. That's my dog, man. Number three.
Drop the mic on her real quick with that one.
That's my dog, man.
Oh man, you gotta love G Bay.
That's my dog.
I related. I add him to the list only because I don't know. I did add him to the list because it wasn't like I don't think it's official just yet. Like I know it's official, but I don't think it's
At the end,
official just yet.
I know what
Right?
you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once they get done
Uh
with the
huh. Yeah, with the
prequels.
art. Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
my number two comes in strong, and he's only number two on the list because he isn't my number one. And hint. So Luffy, of course. Luffy comes in at number two because this is a guy who is fearless, who takes care of his friends and puts them above everything. This is exactly who Luffy is, but at the same time, like he talks that tough where it's like, if you can handle it, I believe inside you. Go ahead and take care of your battle type thing.
Man.
Uh, from somebody who is from day one. He wasn't even the first person we seen on the screen from the Straw Hats. The first Straw Hat we seen was actually Nami from the very first episode, which is crazy to see. Um, so watching Luffy's growth from we go all the way back to when he was a kid. If you guys did not see the recent episodes or for like the lead up to Film Red, like we can see like as a kid who he was and was passionate about leading up to what we seen at the beginning of the story mode when One Piece first started, of him wanting to, be right there by Shanks' side and join the crew and eating the fruit and just being fearless, um, to just showing how much compassion he has for not even treasure, but just being free.
Man. So basically, you guys are gonna get perspectives from uh, on the top two from different opinions. So my number two is obviously gonna be his number one. My number two is my guy Zoro. I listen. He's the guy who makes sure Luffy keeps his head on straight no matter what the situation is. Um, he's the one who you can always count on no matter what the situation is to make sure everything is going in the right direction. Uh,
No
it's
pun
funny
intended.
you think that would be the captain, but that's not necessarily the case in this point. That's not necessarily the case in this point because, as 12 pointed out, he's more so as into being free, kind of doing whatever comes his way. But yeah, Zoro, he makes sure everybody is, even though he gets lost all the time, but that I guess that's more so part for the story, just to get him involved in stuff that's going on and get him stronger, get fights going and whatnot. But no, I really do like when you get down to who his character truly is, not just the fighting and all of that, but seeing his backstory, seeing why he wants to become the world's greatest swordsman. Uh, the key moment that still sticks out, even with all the fighting he's done. The second moment I say, even with everything, would be the slash that he just made a couple episodes back to Kaido. So that would be the second greatest moment. And you said the second greatest moment. What? That's crazy. After all you just said about Kaido and how strong he is and all that. It's like, yeah, that's the second greatest moment. The first greatest moment is nothing happened. And if you don't know what that scene is, it has something to do with Kuma and the Straw Hats and all that at 12 got into a little bit earlier. So if you haven't seen it, I would definitely suggest you all checking that out. But basically, the scene is he takes all the damage inflicted from Luffy in a fight that was going on. He takes all of the damage out, and he basically sucks it out of Luffy and puts it into Zoro. He shows him what a small fraction of it would be, and what it did to him was ridiculous because he was wrecked just off of that. But when he takes the whole bubble in, just standing there, and then you go back and you see Luffy jumping up and down, moving around like nothing's going on, like nothing had happened. And then
Nothing
Sanji
happened.
goes off and that's right. And then Sanji goes off and he finds Zoro and he's like, he sees him basically just standing there frozen in the same spot from where Kuma did to him. And he's basically like, what happened? Nothing happened. It's all good. And to this day, Luffy still
Right
does
there.
not know man. To this scene exactly right here, if you watch it on YouTube, he to this day, Luffy does not know what happened. It just shows that he's willing to go all out to make sure that Luffy is going to be the king of the pirates. That's why he's my number two.
And that's why he's my number one. Because coming into it, like it just happens that way. Like
Yeah.
you could say nothing happened. You could keep this hush hush with yourself. Sanji knows what happened because he went off and he asked the guys, "Hey, what went down here? All right, cool. Keep your mouth shut. Don't worry about it no more." The guys who was on the island got their souls back, but they was watching along still.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you can keep your mouth shut about the secret. Oh, and Robin knows also what happened because she was eavesdropping. That's why she's one of my
Mm-hmm.
top ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Zoro is definitely my top one because the fact is that he, in my opinion, is the strongest member in the Straw Hats. Um, uh, he rivals. He definitely rivals Luffy. When it
No
comes to
question.
just sheer strength,
No question.
but constant workout, training to be the best. Somebody who wants to be number one no matter what goes on inside his life. Like it's hands down probably my favorite part. of watching One Piece is just seeing how much greater Zoro can grow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you guys will see us later on inside the list probably a different time is his fight scenes. Like it's it may be quick fight scenes or maybe long fight scenes, like when he fought uh, Ryuma when he first got his
The
the
sword.
Shisui sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I even know the name of this
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker. Like using Tiger Trap and coming down with it, like seeing the growth from that, and that leading back to what I believe maybe him going to his hometown. Um, I nobody knows this just yet, but I'm assuming that Wano was connected with Zoro in a lot of different ways. Like I still have no clue what ways it is. Even though I read the manga, I still don't know because we haven't just been acknowledged with it yet. But I think Zoro is from Wano and was sent over to the East Blue um, as a kid, kind of like Sanji was. And it's crazy. We don't have Sanji in our top five, neither one of us. Just thought
No.
about that right now. I like that. It's nice.
Man.
But
Not at all.
but man, if you look at somebody just like what 16 said, he keeps the morale solid when it comes to the to the crew. Um, Usopp goes off. Zoro wants to, Luffy wants to go
Boom.
after him. Stop! Don't do this, please. Don't go after him. You have to be a captain. If you do this, then it just shows that we can do whatever we want and walk over you, type shit. So he
Mm-hmm.
reminds Luffy what it means to be a captain and what
Mm-hmm.
it takes to be a captain. And I think that's the whole reason why, again, Zoro is that he's not the second in command, but he is the first mate still. Like I don't think they have a ranking system when it comes to who. But if we were to put down like the first, this is your still your first mate. So
Mm-hmm.
he is what really was to Gold
Of
D
course.
Roger,
Of course.
that right hand man, and it's something that would never be seen before. Why did he show it instead of a Zoro AMV? But even though now that Zoro has Enma in his hand, it just shows how much power he actually will have in the future to train so he can beat Mihawk.
Mm.
See, I did that. That's why I got the old shirt on.
Funny
You gotta
as
train
hell.
Mihawk. Yeah, buddy.
He said it's all coming together. Hell no. Okay. So that leaves my number one last. Like we said, ours is flip flop. My number one, as you can see from up there, it is Mugi Waraya. My God, Straw Hat Luffy. Look, at first, when I first started watching, I was like, man, I don't know how I feel about this cat, man. He a goofball. Like he don't exhibit any sense or forms of seriousness or anything at all. Like, but you keep watching and it's like, oh no, that's not true at all. He gets serious when the situation calls for him to get serious. And that goes back to show uh in the flashbacks when he was a kid with the whole Shanks situation at the bar, how Shanks did, the guys came in talking smack, going crazy and whatnot, and he didn't take it, he didn't take it serious because it's like, dog, if I wanted to, you'd be wrecked right now. You know what I mean? Not taking offense to every single little thing, and you can see Luffy do that whole kind of situation again with Bellamy, how he doesn't do anything. He tells the crew not to fight back, just let it go. And then it comes to it where he gets outside and it's just like, hey man, all right, you pushed me to the limit, and he one shotted him. You know what I mean? So it just shows, like 12 said earlier, he's more so about being free, kind of just experiencing everything that there is to offer on different islands. That's why it kind of seems like he's always putting the crew in danger, but he's not really putting them in danger because if push comes to shove, he's gonna be there to do what needs to be done to make sure everybody's good. So he's just like, hey, let's go explore some stuff. You know what I mean? Let's go see this. Let's go see that. Let's go, you know, eat here, go do this and that, and he's all about being free, and I really just love that about his character, and the fact that anytime he needs to get serious, you'll see it. Big Mom, she's seeing that shit. Kaido seeing that shit now. I mean, just man, that that's my dog, bro. Y'all seen my favorite anime character. Obviously, he's gonna be my favorite on the list, of course.
And plus, he protects the family jewels like he did up on the
I
Snake
am
Princess
dead.
Island.
What are those? They're my jewels.
My jewels.
Jewels?
It's that little bag right there.